Welcome back, everyone. It's Stray Faye here with another episode of Cupid, Parasite. In the last episode, things got a little bit steamy. We had a little hot and steamy silhouette play. Nothing really happened, but we got a little closer to Shelby, and I think we got Shelby a little bit hot and bothered, and then Lynette's still a little bit clueless, but she's starting to catch the feelings. And now we're on to the next chapter, which is food is a spice of love. I'm guessing we're going to do our little planning Cupid Corp anniversary planning thing with the cooking show. We'll see how that goes. All right, the next morning. I woke up, and surprisingly, Mr. Snail hadn't already woke up before me. Was he, up all night? That's unusual. He usually goes to sleep after me and wakes up before I do. He's what some people call a short sleeper. To be honest, I was worried that he wasn't getting enough sleep. But knowing that he could sleep like this, I felt relieved. He's human. Yesterday really was tough. There was an intruder that didn't show up in the security footage. We heard them taking photos, and then they managed to escape. As if they were, superhuman. What was the intruder looking for? Was it someone that suspected that Mr. Snail might actually be single? I recalled the magazine photo caption, President of Cupid Corp a fraud? Devoted husband or big fat liar? He said that he was being spied on for a while. He must have been photographed even before I came here. Maybe they were hounding him so they can write an article like, Close coverage, no hint of wife or devoted husband president. Oh, these people have too much time on their hands. If they were with the magazine that did want to write an article like that, we were able to block them. But if they'd never seen him with a woman before, they could have taken photos of our silhouette show out of surprise. We couldn't let our guard down yet. Whoever it was, they were looking for proof that Mr. Snail was single. How dare he be single? If that's their plan, then I've got something I can do. I intended to do everything in my power to hinder their plans. Thinking that, I looked out the window. The weather was really amazing, and it helped me come up with a new plan. All right. I grinned and went to the bathroom to execute my idea. Wait, what are we doing in the bathroom? After taking care of that, I headed to the kitchen to make breakfast. What should I make? Looks like Mr. Snail still isn't up yet. Maybe he didn't get much sleep last night. Probably thinking all night about you, what you guys almost did. After what happened, you might have been thinking about how to update security, and on top of that... Oh my. Is it the money? Prestige? What's your goal? What's most important to you? What keeps you going? Please tell me. Mr. Snail was really backed into a corner there. He looked so worried and seemed desperate for an answer. The phone call thing kind of threw things off, but what could I have said? It's worth doing, but I also want to prove my dad wrong. But if I told him that, I'd have to admit I'm Cupid. As a realist, Mr. Snail would never believe that. As I made breakfast, I decided I'd have to come up with a convincing answer. I wonder if she's gonna be able to tell any of the dudes that she's Cupid? I mean, seems like most of the dudes are somewhat normal. Except for one of them. I heard movement from the bedroom. Oh, is he awake? Breakfast was nearly done, so it was good timing. I put the scrambled eggs on a plate as I heard the door swing open. Oh, wait. What is this? Hey, you! Oh, good morning. Did you sleep well? You, you dry your underwear outside? Mr. Snail pointed to the yard, his face bright red. I had, in fact, hung my underwear there to dry. I guess so people will think, like, oh, a woman's living here. She's like, she has no sense of, like, shame, though. She's like, the paparazzi see it, oh well. Mission accomplished. So you noticed, huh? Oh yeah, he noticed. This was the plan I'd come up with earlier. I decided to make the house look like it really did have a wife living in it. Normally, folks just use a dryer for their underwear, but some people with yards that don't face the road hang them out to dry. Maybe they're like... I feel like their delicate underwear would get ruined in the dryer. Although sometimes the sun can do the same thing. Fade out the colors. So it shouldn't be weird to have underwear drying in the sun when the weather's so nice. Don't worry, it's just a ruse. I hung them out there in case the person from yesterday comes back. If there is someone stalking around your place and taking photos, we'll show them your wife actually exists. So I'm presenting it in a way that makes it obvious a family lives here. By showing them your underwear. At least use a handkerchief or something. What's wrong with underwear? I don't know where to look. Mr. Snail glared straight at me. The wrinkle between his brows seemed 5 times deeper than usual. Every time I think of like the wrinkled brow, I think of like that silly scene of like Ouran High School Host Club, like where Haru is just like frowning and furrowing and thinking, and then like they just like stick up like a card in between her brows. Made her like really mad. Huh? Did I really not have used my underwear? Back in the share house, I had Gil wash them for me, so I didn't think it was bad or anything. You're just a little bit too naive. Or like she doesn't really have the concept of shame. I thought that Mr. Snail wouldn't care about these things either. He always seems so uninterested in anything besides work. Alright, then I'll switch it later to my handkerchiefs or stockings or something. Please, no stockings either. Oh, and maybe he's into that. Maybe he likes stockings better. Not even stockings? Oh well. Alright, I'll just use the handkerchiefs. Oh, by the way, I also made breakfast. Are you hungry? Oh, so you made that today. I see. Mr. Snail glanced at his watch. He woke up later than usual, so maybe he doesn't have any time. Oh, if you're short on time, there are jelly drinks that you always have in the fridge. No, you went to the trouble of making it, so I'll eat. After thinking about it a moment longer, he confirmed his decision. I'm sure he was weighing the benefits of going to work, but he chose breakfast. Knowing that, I couldn't help but smile. Alright, I'll bring it right over. I brought him the freshly made breakfast and sat across from him. Let's eat. Yes, thank you. After taking a bite, Mr. Snail looked surprised. This is really good. He mumbled to himself as he continued to eat. It was only a single sentence, but I couldn't stop smiling ear to ear. I felt like it was really from the heart. We ate in silence, as I stole quick glances to gauge his reaction. He was focused on eating. Last night he looked so worried about everything. Yesterday he asked me why I was so focused on my work as an advisor, so maybe I'll bring that up again. I never seen him get so serious, so I didn't want to leave things vague or unsettled. Shelby? You asked me yesterday why I was so passionate about being an advisor. Mr. Snail's shoulders twitched suddenly. He immediately stopped eating. He leaned in to listen, showing that he really wanted to know. I continued on. It really does mean a lot to me. Ever since college, I've loved bringing people together, even if they do get annoyed at me sometimes. Even now, my friend would call me the Cupid Parasite. Well, maybe not so much these days, but still. But that's not all. Mr. Snail stared at me in silence. He was waiting for me to keep going. The other reason is to prove my father wrong. Your father? Saying Dad in front of Mr. Snail would seem too childish. I'm not used to talking like this, so it felt off to me. Yes, my father rejected everything that I wanted to do. He said that I would never be able to accomplish what I wanted. I had a dream of learning romantic psychology and bringing people together, but all he could do was look down on me. That's why I wanted to become the #1 bridal advisor at Cupid Corp, to prove him wrong. That's also why I left home. That's the reason I don't want the company to fall apart. I see. I left out the fact that Dad was a god, of course. Mr. Snail sighed deeply after I'd finished. I get it now. So that's why you're so passionate about getting promoted. Yes, but of course, my top priority is still matching people together. I want everyone to find happiness in marriage. That much is clear from your project proposal. Mr. Snail smiled and glanced at my bag. Part of my project plan was sticking out of it. I'd never seen a project plan that was so considerate of the participants. I think it was very well done. Thank you. But it all makes sense now. I always wondered why you are so concerned about the company when you're not on the board of directors. You're worried about saving a place where you could continue matchmaking, and to prove something to your father. That's right! So please go ahead and continue to put me to good use, sir. I hope that would be enough to convince him. He just smiled. Please don't say put me to use. I feel like we're a team now. Oh, you may be right. Then let's join together and defeat the enemy! I'm glad I can rely on you. Mr. Snail laughed out loud. It was the first open laughter I'd ever heard from him. I guess even Mr. Snail can laugh like this once in a while. Laughing makes him look younger, especially since his default face is always a serious frown. So how's the project going? Oh, I found a public kitchen and recruited the help of a culinary expert. I also hired a designer to come up with a print ad. Sounds like it's going well. Yes, Peter is helping too, so I think it can take place as planned. I'd like to host a trial event to check the facilities and plan. I was also hoping to enlist the help of the Parasite 5. The Parasite 5? Yes, they're not members anymore, but they did want to get married at one point. I thought they might cooperate. I haven't seen them in a while either. I couldn't guide those former members into marriage, but I still wanted to bring them on for the event. They're men seeking marriage, despite how difficult they are to deal with. They're a good source of feedback, and they can likely join on the day of the event. And they can likely join on the day of the event. I'd already gotten approval from my manager. The plan was to cleverly ask about their current situations and try to bring them back into our matchmaking service. Is this going to be filmed, or is this like you just want to bring them back? No, I see. That may be a good idea. I'll look into it. Are you sure? But aren't you already pretty busy? This is part of the job. Send me the details later and I'll adjust my schedule to find the time. Thank you! If Mr. Snail will help keep an eye on things, that'll be really reassuring. I want some female members, so I'll ask Clarice. Maybe I can invite Melanie since I'm her current advisor. Oh, Melanie, we haven't seen her in a while either. I hope her and Owen get together again. That would be nice. Melanie's search has been difficult. She told me the other day that she didn't have the confidence to go to the cafe. Oh. Might be willing if I told her it's just a trial run. Yeah, I'll go ahead and call her later. I wrote her name down on a list of people to invite. I suddenly heard a small snicker. You really are passionate about your work. Oh, I'm sorry. We were in the middle of breakfast, weren't we? No, it's alright. I do the same thing all the time. Mr. Snail smiled as he pointed to his phone. He was right, of course. We both love to work, so we end up back at it before we even realize it. But recently, all we do is talk like this, even when there's no specific purpose. Maybe it's because we call each other by name now. Guys are getting a little bit more familiar. And this morning, he even woke up after me. Little by little, I think his prestige parasite side is lightening up. At this rate, he might be able to find someone to marry. As his advisor, I have to keep working hard. He's gonna end up just marrying you. I mentally put myself up once again as I put my notebook in my bag. Then I enjoyed my breakfast with Mr. Snail in a nice relaxed atmosphere. Upon arriving at the office, I started writing my emails to the Parasite 5. I also responded to a question from Melanie and sent her the information for the trial event. On top of that, I started writing a message to Clarice. A few days later, it was the day of my 5-star challenge, Cooking with Fire trial run. No boy. Gil, I haven't seen you in a while. Can I do his voice? Long time no see. Thanks for inviting me. I'm really glad to see you again. Not a bad kitchen. So, where are the girls? Hello again. I'm very much looking forward to this. Even Rolls here. Hi there. I heard you can make ambrosia and nectar here. Is that true? Welcome. Come right this way. Just ignore what Rolls said. The Parasite 5 had all come. I handed them their aprons and cooking instructions and led them to the kitchen. Melanie had arrived first. She jumped in surprise and hid in the corner. Oh, Melanie. Melanie is really scared. But the whole point of this project is to help shy members have fun. So I came up with ways to help them communicate naturally. Huh? Aren't we missing one of the parasites? Oh right, where's Ryuki? Oh yeah, Ryuki, right? He didn't respond to my email, so maybe he's not coming. Oh, rip. Well, whatever. We're short on girls anyway. Yeah, but I did invite a few others too. Catherine. Oh my, what a wonderful kitchen. I'm so pleased to be here today, my adorable Cupid. What was that? What's with the lady with the caked on makeup? Well, she used to have a different advisor, but I took over for her after the Parasite 5 quit. And you are? Hello there, I'm Clarice Tia. I'm part of the Cupid Corp system development team. Clarice introduced herself curtly and quickly stood behind me as if to hide from Catherine. Oh, weird. What's wrong, Clarice? I don't like her. I feel like her eyes are piercing into my soul. Huh? I've never seen Clarice act this shy before. She normally gets along with pretty much everyone. But this is all part of the matchmaking. I have to work hard so that people who aren't compatible can still enjoy the event. Let's have all the participants gather around. Do you all have your checklists? Yes. Peter. Yep, I've got mine. Peter, when did you get here? I've been here the whole time. I heard there was an event today, so I'm here to help. Peter puffed out his chest, looking proud of himself. Ugh, Peter is here too. I don't really care for him either. Maybe I should just go home. Wait! We already have too few women. That'll ruin the balance even more. Huh? But I'm not here to meet anyone. Oh? Then how about we go somewhere together? I'll show you the sweetest dreams. Alan, making moves on Claire's? Alan, stop hitting on everyone. For now, everyone check the checklist for the dish you're gonna cook. Did you know people started making bread almost 5,000 years ago? They found pottery fragments and extracted the yeast. I'd love to cook using that. They also say that the gods lived among the people, which means they ate the same things as... Hey! Can you explain this part to me? Wow, Gil is shouting with so much energy. He seems to be really motivated. It's always easier to make progress if there's even one person that's motivated. Feeling relieved, I started to explain how I expected the event to progress. After getting everyone to wash their hands, I called over the culinary expert to start the cooking. That's culinary researcher. Come on everyone, it's plenty cooked already. Huh? No way! Isn't this still raw? That ingredient doesn't change color. This is a 5-star difficulty after all. Hey, our darling. Are you in love? I can see that you've become even more beautiful than before. Less talking, more cooking. Watch your fingers or you'll cut yourself. And if you're gonna flirt with the other girls. Huh? Is it really okay to add wine? I think ambrosia has a better consistency. Ambrosia? Wait, where's the ambrosia? Isn't like ambrosia just like a fantasy food of the gods? Oh, I dropped an egg. Oh, pardon me. I'm just a dainty young lady, you know. Oh, this apple looks golden to me. Now that brings me back. Apples are meant to be hoarded. Cutting it in half is such a waste. Wait, I'm talking about like a parable or a myth, the golden apple. I'm sorry, could you hold this steady for me? Sure, if you don't mind. Everyone was making a lot of commotion during my 5-star challenge, Cooking with Fire challenge. It's actually going well. Owen and Melanie are getting along much better than I expected. Owen is the earnest type, so Melanie shouldn't have a hard time talking to him. I should check to see if Owen is registered as a member. I thought about that as I guided everyone along through their recipes. Maybe they will just like get together in the end, like regardless. After about an hour, the cooking was finally done. Are we finished? I think we are. Yeah, we're definitely done. I saw completed dishes on the tabletop. Some looked delicious, while others would make me hesitate. Hey, who made this? This wasn't part of the recipe. Oh, sorry. I thought you might want some dessert, so there was some extra flour, so... And what's this? Don't add in some creepy-looking concoction. Huh? That's nectar. The recipe seemed different, so I added some salsa planet sauce, too. Please don't add weird stuff to the drinks. And what's that sauce anyway? Whatever, the other dishes seem fine, but it's not complete without sampling the final product. Wash your hands and take a seat. The culinary expert clapped his hands and guided everyone to the right place. Just then, I heard the door open. Oh, hi. So you actually are cooking. Ryuki-kun, you made it! My store isn't far from here. And your message said that you were making Japanese food. Well, I'm glad you're here. That's right. Would you like to sample our Japanese cuisine? Ta-da! Yamata no Orochi's tail. Wait, this serious? I feel like you just combined a few things. Huh. Oh, did you just come up with that name on the spot? Well, it's Japanese, right? And Yamata no Orochi is a famous Japanese god, is it not? It gets killed in the end, though. Ah, how romantic. How is everything going here? Oh god, everyone's here. I heard the door open again and Mr. Snail strolled in. Oh, Mr. Snail, thank you for coming. We just finished cooking. Would you like to join us? You don't mind? Not at all. There's plenty to go around. We just need to figure out what to do with this weird drink. Oh, I don't mind drinking it. Your agent will get mad at me, so no. Can we just eat already? It's gonna get cold. Oh, right. Everyone, let's dig in. At my urging, they picked up their utensils and started eating. Wow, this is delicious. The salad is great too. Can I get some for you? Oh, I'm fine. I could do it myself. I'm closer though. That was the exchange when Owen got a bit of salad for Melanie. I think these two really are quite compatible. My Cupid habits took over as I eagerly observed them. Hey, this gratin isn't bad. I was wondering about why there's so many weird dishes, but it's actually pretty edible. Yeah, I didn't think that ambrosia would taste like this, but... Speaking of which, when you say ambrosia, are you referring to the smoked bacon? How is this 5-star difficulty? It's just some regular udon noodles. Heh, that's no ordinary udon. I made that from scratch with homemade flour. Gil's the one that cut it so perfectly, though. It's pretty hard to cut them all exactly the same length. But it sure was fun. Even in the midst of everyone enjoying themselves, I heard her faint voice admitting that she was having fun. I'm so glad Melanie enjoyed it. I was worried about what would happen at first, but it seems like people were able to get along through the power of cooking. I could definitely carry this over to the actual event. Is this just practice? I was thinking about that as I reached for a bit of the baked gratin. Oh, hot! I carelessly touched the hot plate that the gratin was on. A sharp pain shot through me and my mind went blank. Oh, what the heck? It's so hot! Ow, ow, ow! This wasn't the kind of pain you got from tripping or bumping into something. I've never experienced anything like it. Oh no. This is like never had been in a painful situation before. I didn't know what to do and I just started turning left and right. Someone grabbed my arm from the side. You idiot, what are you doing? You have to cool it off. Mr. Snail grabbed my arm and forced me to stand up and dragged me to the sink. He turned on the tap and put my hand under the running water. Oh, cares about her. Everyone knows you need to cool off a burn. What were you thinking? I'm sorry. I've never felt something this hot before. Is this what it feels like to get burned? Of course. Don't tell me you've never been burned before. I mean, you either think of her as a sheltered baby, or the real reason is that she's a god and has never had to feel pain before. I haven't. This genuinely was my first experience. I nodded at Mr. Snail's side. You're lucky it's never happened while you were cooking before. Right. Back in college, Gil did all the cooking. And when I started working, Clarice and I took turns, so I've only really cooked for a little over a year. I guess I really was lucky it had never happened before. By sheer chance, today was the first time. What are you going to do if it scars? Burns are no joke. Oh, really? I'm sorry, I really didn't know. Putting it under cold running water immediately is the best method. I understand, but I think it's starting to cool down. No, not yet. He held my wrist firmly to keep my hand under the cooling water. He doesn't have to grip so hard. I'm not going anywhere. Since he was freaking out earlier, he must have thought he had to keep a close eye on me. Oh, he's getting a little stressed out. I've completely lost his trust. I guess it's my fault for not having any clue about burns. The water continued to splash away on my hand. The icy water was starting to make my hand numb, but I stayed put under Mr. Snail's strong grasp. After a while, he finally let go. Thank goodness. Hopefully it won't scar. Right. Thank you. No, I only did what I had to. I just hope you're okay. Mr. Snail suddenly froze up. I turned around and everyone was staring at us. Oh no. Oh, you two sure are close. Oh, are you two dating already? What? Clarence, put your tongue away. Don't be silly. That's impossible. Yes, Mrs. Snail has a lovely wife after all. Oh yeah? If the two of you are dating, that's awesome for... Alan, go away! That's awesome for me. I really wish you wouldn't lick your lips when you say stuff like that. Right. A devoted husband. Yeah. You're not dating, right? Woo. Burns can be serious. You should put some ointment on it. Yeah, thanks. I've been talking to him the way I'd gotten used to doing, but this time it was in front of a crowd. Oh no. Wait, did he call it? You didn't call her like Shelby, right? That would be like, oh, the jig is up. Since I was so desperate to seem like his wife, I guess I gave the impression that we were actually close. Oops. Then again, I guess it's good if they think we're dating, since that was the goal in the first place. The problem being, I let it come out in a situation that wasn't a business dinner. I glanced over and saw Mr. Snail looking at his phone with a deep frown. This is trying to keep distracted. Divert. Seemed as if he was writing a work email, but I've been around him long enough that it was just his way of avoiding the situation. I'm starting to know what Mr. Snail is actually thinking. But I'm glad the burn wasn't serious. I should thank Mr. Snail for taking care of it that quickly. The numbness was still there as I touched my other hand and reminded me again of the searing heat from before. It's been 6 years since I came to the human realm, but there are still lots of things I haven't experienced yet. I'm lucky to be surrounded by people willing to teach me. Gil, Claris, all of the Parasite 5, and Mr. Snail, of course. Everyone around me has taught me so many things. Ever since I started living with Mr. Snail, I've learned a whole new set of values. What to do when a man and woman live together. This is an important experience to have in order to do my matchmaking. She's just gonna use it as experience for her job. Lynette! Here, use this to cool off some more. Just then, Gil burst in with a mountain of ice packs. Haha, I don't need that many. Yes, you do. You have to ice it properly. Oh, Gil, you always take things to the extreme. Speaking of which, back when we were roommates, Gil always made a huge fuss whenever I got hurt. It was fun back then. I thought about those good times as I applied the packs that Gil had brought. That concluded the trial for my 5-star challenge, Cooking with Fire event. All that was left to present was to present the project to the world at large. That same night, I found myself in Mr. Snail's car. After the event, I returned to the office to do some more work. Waiting at the elevator to go home, I ran into Mr. Snail. I'm sorry to having you drive me home while you're still working. No, it's my fault that the recent commute is longer. Let me help out once in a while. Mr. Snail is so earnest. He may be a workaholic, but he never forgets to be considerate like this. Your trial event was a great success. I can't wait for the actual announcement. Thank you. I was glad to see that Melanie enjoyed it. You really do care about our members. His voice was soft and kind. I could tell thinking about that really did make him happy. Possibly because he's so passionate about work, Mr. Snail notices more than others when someone puts in the effort. He notices other employees often and always recognizes them. I have nothing but respect for him. I can tell that he cares about our members too, since I play the role of his wife. In our business dinners, I always hear about what kind of husband and great all-around person he is. Our dinners are usually only with major presidents who are much older. They seem to treat him like he's their son. The prestige parasite. He's a workaholic that's fixated on his status, but he doesn't think that the ends justify the means. He's focused on his work and hard on himself. He's direct and considerate of others. He is the definition of a moral man of character. If it weren't for his secret, he could have easily gotten married. Unfortunately, none of the female members I manage are a good fit for him. Despite my efforts, there are still such things as luck and fate. I don't need to look down from Celestia to see that. But that's why I think matchmaking is so interesting. I touched my necklace and gazed out the car window at the night sky. I hope Mr. Snail can find a wife soon. I'd even considered using my Cupid's bow as a last resort. A few minutes later, the car arrived in front of the house. Here we are. Thank you very much. I undid my seatbelt and turned to Mr. Snail, who was sitting motionless. Are you going to head back to work now? That was my plan, yes. As usual, he's always about work. But I enjoy working just as much, so I couldn't really say anything. You know, Shelby, we've never had a dinner together at home, just the two of us. We talked about it before, but ultimately his work made it impossible. I put on the attitude of a sulking wife, and he seemed to stumble over his words, unsure of what to say. That's... If you're always at work, they'll find out that you're not as devoted as you say. Sorry, I'm just teasing you. I gave him a sidelong glance and grinned at him. His reply was simply to frown once again. I wish there was something I could do. I still have so much work to do. Haha, I know. I love my work too, you know. When you're really on a roll, it can be too much of a hassle to even stop and eat. Yes, getting simple foods is enough to get your blood sugar up. As long as I can work, it's fine. Right. I know that feeling where he doesn't want to spend time eating. I also know that feeling of wanting to get back to the office. But eating dinner alone is no fun, and making dinner for the sake of someone can be a lot of fun. I guess I let my honest feelings slip out. Food tastes better when you make it and enjoy it together. That's what made me come up with the cooking event in the first place. Of course, it can also be the source of fights, so some caution is definitely required. I know it's too sudden to do it today, but if you can find the right time, would you like to eat dinner together? I looked at Mr. Snail sitting in the driver's seat, and he finally looked back at me. His eyes appeared different from normal. It was as if he was serious and hesitant at the same time. There was even a slight pain in his eyes. The streetlights appeared to make them waver. After a moment, he turned off the engine. Right. I suppose we should eat dinner together once in a while. Do you mean it? Yes. He laughed and undid his seatbelt. Apparently that once in a while meant tonight. For some reason, it made me really happy. Then you'll let me make you dinner tonight? No, I'll take care of that. I don't want you to hurt yourself again. Good. That's right. Today was also the day you seen me get burned for the first time. Then how about we make it together? You weren't there for the actual cooking today after all. Fine. Does your burn still hurt? Not at all. Thanks to you, it doesn't hurt one bit. That's good. We got out of the car and headed inside. I felt like saying home sweet home. It really did feel like this was my home now. That feeling is probably what made me want to eat together with him. Lost in thought, I followed Mr. Snail into the house. After that, we made dinner together. We took our time and also enjoyed dinner in the relaxed mood. This was different from breakfast and the business meals. This was like a proper alone time that we got to have together. The orange hue of the lights shone gently on the food. The freshly made dinner was still hot. We talked about unimportant topics as we ate dinner. Ugh. I guess doing this kind of thing once in a while isn't so bad. Haha, I told you so. Eating dinner at home can be very relaxing. Yes, I never really realized how different it feels from eating out. He seemed to be completely relaxed as he sipped his post-meal coffee. Are you sure you don't want anything stronger? No, thank you. I still have to drive after this. Apparently, he still intended to head back to the office. Speaking of which, Shelby, I've rarely ever seen you drink. Even at business dinners, you only have a few sips. Do you not like alcohol? Well, no, not exactly. I do enjoy drinking alone sometimes. Oh, really? Even then, I've never seen you drink. I typically drink at bars, not at home. Oh, so that's why. I imagine Mr. Snail drinking alone at a dark bar, and it definitely fit his image. Or a very exclusive bar. Well, if you ever need some company, you can always call me. Haha, thanks. I'll keep that in mind. Despite his response, I doubted he would ever actually call me. He probably likes drinking alone because it's easier. Well, it sounds like he does relax when he's by himself. I thought maybe he didn't drink because it interfered with his work or something. He doesn't spend any time eating after all. But he does know how to relax, in his own way. Knowing that brought a smile to my face. He's also been getting more sleep than usual lately. That's reassuring too. Before he averaged maybe 3 hours of sleep a night. Really? People need like, isn't like 4 hours like the minimum to go into like a REM sleep? But recently I've caught him sleeping for up to 6 whole hours. Wow, that's like not even the healthy amount. Because I live with them, he might be matching my daily life rhythm to an extent. Speaking of which, the rhythm when living with Gil and Clarice, and then just with Clarice, was pretty different. People seem to get influenced by others surprisingly easily. I'd be really happy if Mr. Snail can enjoy this time off a bit more now that I'm here. Then again, we haven't gotten to the point of actually having any time off to enjoy yet. But he's starting to enjoy his meals more and sleeping a bit longer. That's a huge change for him. Eating like this certainly makes me sleepier. It might end up affecting my work and not in a good way. Oh, would you like to go to sleep? I can tuck you in. You never let up, do you? He made a wry smile as he deflected my little joke. I was just glad that we were able to joke around like that now. I felt like I'd be able to play the role of his wife even better going forward. Well, thank you for the meal. I should get going now. Mr. Snail looked at his watch and stood up. Let me walk you to the door. I grabbed the jacket he'd taken off when we got home and quickly made my way over to him. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, Shelby. Right. I'm like, God, that one. I feel like, get a little flustered. Get a little close. I handed him his jacket and saw him off like a proper wife. He looked a bit embarrassed as he put the jacket on. Thank you. Well, I'm off. Ah, just a second. Let me fix your tie. It must have gotten crooked when he put his jacket on. I reached out to fix it. There, all better. I let go and he suddenly grabbed my wrist. Mr. Snail was staring at me for some reason. Whatever he was feeling, his pale eyes didn't reveal a thing. They were a cool blue, like ice or snow. His hand on my wrist was just as cold. The same hands that took care of my burn. The rough hands of a man. His lips quivered a bit, as if he was about to say something. But he didn't. He just let go and turned away from me. I should be back by 1 o'clock. Sure. Have a nice evening. He almost acted on his impulses. He opened the door and walked out. I heard his car drive off. I looked down at my hand. It was cold when he grabbed me, but for some reason now it felt hot. Oh no, this is Shelby's perspective. Ugh. I returned to my office and sat in my chair. I took off my jacket and leaned back. I felt like I was running on empty. Maybe that was the wrong move back there. She handed me my jacket and fixed my tie. It was like she really was my wife. I almost moved in for a kiss at that point. But then I remembered at the last moment that this was just part of the job. All that acting, he fooled him now. I managed to stop myself, but it felt too awkward after that. This is only a job. She's doing it perfectly because it's her duty. I thought I understood that. But to me, it seemed like she really enjoyed our meal together. My guard was completely relaxed because of that. That's why I grabbed her hand without thinking. But that's also what caused me to come to my senses. I didn't think I would ever desire someone like that. I wish I didn't feel this way. Until now, even on my off hours, everything I did affected my work. Eating was just replenishing energy. Business meals were just places to socialize with clients. But she brought color into my life. She enjoyed eating with me, and the time we spent together was so relaxing. I've never had such a warm sensation at a dinner table. We do eat breakfast together, so I thought it wouldn't be much different. But it was. In the morning, we're both rushing to get ready for work. But a meal at the end of the day is completely different. I never thought it would be something I would be so reluctant to step away from. What should I do? In the car, Lynette sulked a bit, saying that she wanted to eat together. But then she saw me off to work with a smile. Have a nice evening. The joy I felt hearing someone say that with such trust in their eyes. It's completely new to me. It's like that act gave me a reason to come into work. Her smile gives me the energy to push even further. To be honest, I've never even thought that this was the life I wanted. I didn't desire it, so I didn't know anything about it. But now that I do, I don't want to lose it. How can I continue this life? All I can think about now is how to keep this. How about making a 2-year contract or increase your pay? No, that's not the problem. I kept thinking about it in terms of a business owner. I shake my head to rid myself of these thoughts. He's just trying to drag it out. Oops, sorry. The rules of business don't always apply to human interaction. I failed those things so many times before now. I also feel guilty for only thinking about how this is affecting me. What does she think about all this? She shook my hand with a smile, saying that she's willing to fight alongside me. I think of that smile again now. She's a dependable partner, but I can't help but wonder if she's actually enjoying this life. She plays the role of my wife, but does she find it draining? I want to ask, but I'm afraid to find out the answer. I've tried to be careful to ensure that if she does find someone that she wants to date or marry, that choice is open to her. But it's too late now. I don't want to lose this life. I know I shouldn't try to tie her down. I thought this would be just an interim solution until I really get married, but I can't do it anymore. What am I supposed to do? I had kept this lifestyle far away from me specifically because I didn't want to worry about it like this. The feelings of romance are also illogical. It's so exhausting. I just don't want to deal with any of this. But this fixation won't go away. All of my principles seem to be crumbling away. No, these are just the thoughts of a business owner that doesn't want to lose a model employee. I'm not denying it. With my eyes closed, I try to convince myself of that. But I know I'm just lying to myself about these budding emotions. Either way, it's doomed to fail. No, back to this place, stuff 007. Gah, none of these photos prove he's single at all. They're all lovey-dovey, and every single one of them. MQ, you are absolutely sure he's single? Yes, I'm sure of it, but he appears to have a co-conspirator now. This is bad news. Those C-Cam people are getting in the way too. We're calling it quits on finding proof of his single status. Just be glad my special skills kept you from being found out. At least we can proceed to the next phase now. At that point, he will surely meet his end. Are you all set on your end? Yes, absolutely. We just recently obtained some new information, and we'll be the first to get it out into the world. Is that so? Well done, MQ. Just you watch, Cupid Corp. We're gonna crush you like a bug. Trying to get a little tickle in my throat. Uh-oh. Alright, next chapter. This actually might be a good chance to take a break. The wedding of Rome and Julie. Alright. Alright, feelings are starting to bud. Romance is being realized. More by Shelby than anything, but it's always like that. It's always the dude that seems to recognize it first. Alright, let's save over here. Okie doke. So yeah. Yeah, my voice is starting to give out a bit. Probably because I got off work and just immediately started recording this. So I'm just energy leaving me now. Maybe I should take a day off or something. Alright, anyway. Hope you guys are having a fun and relaxing time with this, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.